Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather, and I'm sorry for the scare yesterday with the I'm saying goodbye video, but today we're saying hello to some irregular wallets. We've got a brand new irregular sale, and everything you're about to look at in the video today is active right now. As I release this video, everything will be up on the sale page of our website. Let's start off first here with some of our Johnny the Fox wallets. We're gonna do the English Tan Dublin first. This is our most popular wallet style. Every irregular wallet, including this Johnny the Fox, is discounted for small cosmetic issues. We call them irregulars. There might be a little bit of inconsistent stitching, like on the bottom back stitch of this one, or maybe inconsistencies in the leather. There's also a couple items that are extra discounted because they're definitely off spec. But first here, English Tan Dublin is my favorite color on the Dublin leather. Really nice, vibrant orangey tan shade. And we also have English Tan Dublin horsehide on the interior. Here's another wallet in that Dublin leather, but this is black Dublin on the exterior, and on the inside we have some teal horsehide latigo. I love the combination of these two together. And speaking of combinations, we got a great shell cordovan wallet here. Color number 4 shell cordovan on the outside. And we've got this alternating color 4 horsehide with natural latigo on the interior. And on the outside of this wallet, you can see some of the inconsistencies that I'm talking about. We've got little bits of scuffs and scratches in the shell. This is kind of how the leather will wear in normally. And with normal use, these scuffs and scratches tend to blend in and fill in themselves. So we got color 4 shell on the outside with color 4 horsehide and natural latigo on the inside. Another shell cordovan wallet. This is the classic color number 8 shell cordovan. Really nice dark brown burgundy shade. And we've paired this color 8 shell on the outside with some color 8 horsehide latigo on the interior. We also have some hand stained color 8 edges. Here's another one of the exact same wallet. Color 8 shell cordovan on the outside with color 8 horsehide latigo on the inside. This one's going to be heavily discounted because there is a monogram that is misplaced. EG on the outside of this. And here's our most popular shell cordovan item. This is our Johnny the Fox in 100% color 8 shell cordovan. What's really nice about this makeup is we've got that beautiful piece of the classic color 8 shell on the outside. We also have the rare thin pieces of color 8 shell cordovan for the inside, so 100% color 8 shell. And in addition to all the color 8 shell cordovan here, we've also matched that same color 8 stain to all of the edges. So we hand stain every bit of the edges of this wallet, and it gives it a really nice clean look. So here's one of the first wallets that's going to be aggressively discounted. This is a shop worn wallet, so it will show signs of use. This is 100% garnet shell cordovan, and there's something weird about this one. It's a little bit wavy, so my suspicion is that this leather got wet and then was dried out a bit, so we conditioned it and brought it back to life. This one is going to be more than half off. Here's another great shell cordovan wallet that will be aggressively discounted because it is personalized. So you can see on the bottom right here, EWJ, where we normally laser etch our personalization. On the bottom right corner, this is black shell on the outside with a reverse black interior. And it's a little bit sad to discount this one because the interior of this wallet is really interesting. 3 more Johnny the Foxes to look at. Another shop worn piece here that will also be heavily discounted. The reason I'm including this one is we're not able to make this wallet style anymore, or at least for the foreseeable future. This is 100% natural chrome excel. Definitely shows signs of wear, but it's very lightly used. And this might be my favorite wallet of everything we're going to look at today. And it's a little surprising because it's not something that's very rare, but there's something really special about this particular piece of black Dublin on this Johnny the Fox. So we have that black Dublin on the exterior with incredible figuring in the grain, really exceptional grain character, as well as black horsehide latigo on the interior. And the last Johnny the Fox, this is 100% cobalt blue Dublin, and this one is also very, very nice. Of course, small cosmetic issues will make this irregular along with all the other items. Now let's move into some fat Herbies. I just started wearing a new fat Herbie yesterday, and a version of this right here. I've got the tumbled natural shell cordovan. The one we're looking at here is the classic shell cordovan in the natural color. Really nice neutral shade here. There is a little bit of yellow, sort of golden tones in the natural shell. That's just the natural color of the veg tan shell cordovan, as well as some of the waxes and oils that are tanned inside of here. So natural shell on the outside as well as natural shell on the inside. And here's an old stock wallet. This is an old piece of whiskey shell cordovan, and I can tell it's a little bit older because of the stitching on this one. It's just like a little bit different than our new stitching machines that we have. So whiskey shell cordovan on the outside, you can see it's much darker, a little bit more golden brown when you compare it to the natural shell on the right, and on the inside more whiskey shell cordovan. Another fat Herbie here in English Tan Dublin this time. Really nice, vibrant, orangey tan shade. You can see little bits of imperfections in the leather right here on the outside right center, right there. On the inside, more English Tan Dublin. It's pretty nice on the inside. And here's a nice one. Color color number 8 shell cordovan. This is the same idea as the Johnny the Fox we looked at earlier, with color 8 shell on the outside as well as color 8 shell on the inside. We also have that same matching hand stained edge. Up next, we have a black shell cordovan Fat Herbies with black shell on the outside, black shell on the inside. Really nice Horween ink stamp in the center. A little bit different on this one. We've got the waxed and burnished edges. And here's a fan favorite shell color. This is cigar shell cordovan. And cigar shell cordovan, when compared to color number 8, has much less red tones to it. It's very much a true brown, really straightforward color here, and a little bit more of a matching stitch. So it's a little bit more of a brown stitching. As opposed to the color 8, you can see the stitching is a little bit more burgundy. And on the inside of this wallet, more cigar shell cordovan. And I have a couple reverse color 8 shell cordovan wallets to look at here. This is all reverse color 8 shell on the Fat Herby. You can see the mismatch of color here. It's a little bit more red on the bottom and it's a little bit more tan on the top section here, but there's a little bit of cracking in the leather. This is not something that's going to fall apart, but it's definitely unsightly and not in our normal specs. On the inside, we've got more reverse color 8 shell cordovan for the card holders, as well as color 8 shell in the center. And here's the last Fat Herby. This one is really awesome. Epic splatter on this reverse color 8 shell with a nice Horween ink stamp. And on the inside, this is why it's irregular. We've got a personalization of VDH on the inside right above our logo. And I have a couple JR fold wallets to look at. If you're not familiar with this design, it's probably because we don't release it. This is not something we've ever made a standard item before, but this is a design that Skip Horween's dad, Arnold Horween Jr., came up with in the 70s. The idea was to put your bills and cards underneath this flap, and then everything folds closed like this. It's an exceptional minimalist style. So we have one in color number 8 shell cordovan here, as well as another in black shell cordovan here. You can see all these little bits of scuffs and scratches in the leather that makes these irregular. And I should say, it's kind of hard to see some of these irregularities, but on the photos for all the product pages, you should be able to get a little bit of a better view, although you might be able to see some of them here. Every irregular item that we have tends to be pretty small, and it's sort of stuff that you will normally see just with regular use. So I have another special piece here. This is our only vertical Bugs Moran in the irregular sale here. So we've got 2 card slots on the left, a hidden card slot underneath those, and the same layout on the right. This is incredible marbled black shell cordovan on the inside, as well as marbled black shell cordovan on the outside. And I have a passport holder. This is our passport field notes holder in English and Dublin. You can see we've got these larger open slots on the left and on the right, as well as 2 card holders on the left. This is designed to fit passports as well as field notes. And this passport holder is an irregular because it does have a little bit of a personalization on it. It says PDR. And we looked at some Fat Herbies a minute ago. This is the little brother to the Fat Herbie. We call it Tony the Ant. So it has this exterior bill slot with the thumb notch that is the same aesthetic as the Fat Herbie, but it's much smaller. Definitely more of a handheld size. On the inside of this one, the card layout's also different. We've got 2 card holders stacked on top of each other. So the first Tony the Ant here is color number 8 shell cordovan on the inside and the outside. Another Tony the Ant here, we've got color 8 shell on the outside only this time with a reverse color 8 interior. And this is a good chance to compare. So this is color number 8 Dublin. This is a steer hide leather that's tanned with the same tree barks as the shell cordovan, and it has a wax finish on the surface. So we get this little bit of a burst effect. This is a little bit more burgundy and cherry on the undertones and much darker and more brown on the surface. Let's compare the color 8 Dublin in my left hand with the color 8 shell cordovan. You can see the color is very different, but it is a similar vibe, trying to translate the color 8 shell color over to the Dublin. Here's a look at the inside of this Tony the Ant. Here's a really nice piece of natural chrome excel. There are some small scuffs and scratches in this wallet, but it's a really sleek piece of natural chrome excel here. Check out that bright shiny luster. We also have natural chrome excel horsehide on the interior. And here's our most popular shell cordovan color, natural shell cordovan on this Tony the Ant. Here's a look at the outside bill slot, as well as the inside with more natural shell cordovan. And the last Tony the Ant, this is a shop worn item. So it will show signs of wear. You can see where the bills were put in the back, just little outlines here. Also in the natural shell cordovan on the outside with natural shell on the inside. Again, you can see slight use on the card holders here and a little bits of rough spots where the leather has rubbed together. And we have some Bugs Morans. This one is really nice too. This might be my second favorite of the day. Black shell cordovan on the outside with reverse black on the inside. Again, this is another one that will show signs of wear. You might be able to see these little bits of indentations on the outside where you can see where everything is sort of laid inside of these card holders. Another color 8 shell cordovan piece. This is a Bugs Moran in color 8 shell cordovan with our traditional card layout. So a little different than the vertical card slots that we looked at earlier. This will fit folded cash in the larger 2 slots underneath. And here is a natural shell cordovan Bugs Moran. Really nice bright shiny luster on this piece of shell. And the last Bugs Moran is black shell cordovan, one of the 2 classic shell cordovan colors, along with color 8 shell cordovan. So speaking of black shell cordovan, I also have some Capone money clips. The first one is in black shell cordovan here. You can see a waxed and burnished edge, which gives the wallet a nice framed out look with that light tan shade on the edges. Here's a look at the inside, more black shell cordovan, and this will be a good chance to compare it to our other black leather. This is the black Dublin. You can definitely see the difference, or you might be able to see the difference with these 2 leathers. The shell cordovan on the top, very bright and shiny, very much a mirror-like luster. The Dublin also has a very nice luster, but it's not as glassy and shiny as the shell cordovan. There's much more grain character inside of here. So on the outside of this Capone money clip, black Dublin all around, as well as on the inside. We have more black Dublin for the card holders. This one has a silver spring bar money clip. And here's our other Dublin Capone money clip. This is English tan Dublin, again, our most popular Dublin color. Really nice, vibrant, orangey tan shade, and it ages really well. So English tan Dublin on the outside, as well as English tan Dublin on the inside. Here's the special one. This one looks very slightly used also. This is a tumbled natural chrome excel Capone money clip with incredible figuring from that tumbling. The little tumble pattern, especially on this card holder here. You do see a little bit of that tumble pattern on this card holder as well, but it's a little bit more subtle than on the left here. And on the inside, we have more tumbled natural chrome excel. And the last wallet of the day, speaking of natural, we've got natural shell cordovan on the Capone money clip. This is one of our most popular items. It's a little bit of a bummer that these have cosmetic issues, but it is nice to be able to offer some of these things at a discount. I know a lot of the shell cordovan stuff in particular is pretty expensive, so it might be a little bit out of most people's price ranges. So we try to reduce the price at least 20% off for our irregulars, including this natural shell cordovan Capone money clip here. So thanks for checking out all the stuff in the video. And I had the 2 favorite wallets for me. The first one was this black Dublin Johnny the Fox. The grain character and figuring on this one is really, really, really cool. Something special about every piece of Dublin. Each piece is a little bit different and unique. And the other one I really liked was the interior on this Bugs Moran. The reverse black is a little bit lighter and more yellowy tan than most of the reverse black that we normally see. So these are my 2 picks of the day. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to check out the podcast. I've started a podcast with Nick Horween called Full Grain Podcast. You definitely want to check that out. We also have a YouTube channel going over there. If you have any questions about any of the wallets or anything we do here at Ashland, leave us a comment. You can send me an email to phil@ashlandleather.com. And until next time, I hope you have a good one.